My name is Christian Clark. I'm a native Samoan, born and raised in Hawaii. The difference between Hawaiian and Samoan is that they're two totally different races. They're just really similar in their cultural practices and everything. The separation of each culture is there's tiny things there's physical attributes Samoans are generally thought of as bigger race. Tongans are usually bigger and everybody considers them to look meaner. Hawaiians are pretty much it's pretty much like a mix of all the other races. The customs and traditions, my mom's side is Samoan, so every time we have a big celebration, we do this dance called the siva. The person that we're celebrating does the siva. It's kind of everybody, if a person from the mainland looked at it, they just call it the hula, but it's this dance where we throw money and it's very cultural, dress up and everything. I really like the blending of cultures in Hawaii because everybody kind of experiences everybody else's culture.
Customs provide a spotlight on the native culture and the Hawaiian way of life. The hotel hosts many events which support the community and allow visitors to see more than just a traditional luau.
All the Pacific Island cultures are just sort of intertwined into one, but there's still that separation between each one somehow. The common student opinion of Hawaii is paradise.
Yes, Hawaii.
Everybody wants to go there just to have fun and surf, but they don't really think about the normal life there. People work still and people still go to school out there, and I guess it just they don't think about how it makes it harder with that being right in our backyard. My viewpoint of Hawaii has kind of changed since I've been here because of the way I see people admire how beautiful it is there, and I'm just I lived there, grew up there, I'm really over that. And then I see how much people worship it and think of it as a vacation spot. They always show hula dancers and everything, the characterization of it with fire dancers and all the showy stuff, but then they don't really show we live normal lives just like everybody else in the United States. I'm starting to think of it as a vacation spot because I spent so much time out in the mainland with everybody. Growing up in Hawaii, I never thought of the state as a fantasy destination at all. I just thought of it as a place to be. The area I lived in Hawaii was about 15 minutes away from Waikiki Beach, so it was a lot of tourists coming around. I don't think there was a direct impact from tourism with Hawaii being so close to it. I mean, I grew up really close to it, but it always seemed just a normal thing just to have tourists around. I left Hawaii for college because I really wanted to follow in my dad's footsteps, so that was the big thing for me my whole life. This year I consider my plans a lot. I plan to go back to Hawaii only to visit, not to live or anything, because it's really nice to visit, but living on the mainland is I feel I have more opportunity on the mainland than over there. But I plan to commission into the military as an officer and go wherever that takes me. My dad was in the military, he was a sergeant, and he was based out there. That's how my parents kind of met. So the military presence really didn't faze me because it was part of my life, but not really part of it. So I never really thought about it. Yeah, I don't feel it's an intrusion at all. It's one of the normal things, but since I was born into it, I just kind of really didn't. I took it for granted. ROTC is for me is an avenue out of an adjustment out of college into the real world, because it's going to be my job in the future, so I have to start. It's the one thing I take seriously other than my classes, because with cheer I just have fun and to work out with all the guys and everything. My favorite part about Oregon cheer, it started out being the girls, being around girls, the 2-to-1 ratio and everything. Now it's more about the workouts and how it keeps me physically in shape, and how people see me on campus as the representation of Oregon cheer and sports and everything. My culture in the media has been portrayed pretty positive lately because all the sports and everything. Since the common representation of Samoan are football players, when I see them on campus and they recognize me, I feel part of them, but not really connected because they're in a totally different sport than I am. But it's nice to see somebody else with the same culture and that knows everything I grew up with come up and say hi or just smile and nod or something. Yeah, there's always that connection back to the roots of being Samoan and that culture and everything.